That's right, kids. It's not just a pencil. It's the Apple Pencil, which means it's the most expensive pencil in existence. But if you use one of the new iPad Pros to draw or sketch or do layout work or take notes like I do, it's great. And this is a quick review of the Apple Pencil. Not the most exciting thing to look at on screen, but it does what it's supposed to do. It's also really fast and responsive, connects to the iPad with Bluetooth. This is actually faster and better than my Wacom tablet, but I use that for different things. I use my iPad for sketching and layout work constantly. I'm writing all of my new books on iPad, and then I do the finishing work on Wacom with Photoshop. But let me show you how this works with the iPad. It's got this interesting little thing here where you charge it. Get focus. You can use a wall charger. There's an adapter allowing you to use a wall charger. Or you can plug it into the iPad, weaponizing your iPad. A month in and I'm still using the default background on this, but you charge it like that, or you can connect it to the wall charger. So you can like stab people with your iPad. Or, basically just rip that out of there and break both of them. So I don't do this very often. So here's how I'm using the new iPad. These are my projects that I'm currently working on. This is the cover art for the feature review of Musha, which I just drew not too long ago. Still getting used to the controls here on Adobe Draw, but I drew this with the pen. And I'll show you how this works in a second here. These are my Patreon doodles for January. So some of you had doodles that were originally drawn on the iPad and then sent over to Photoshop where I did the finishing work on a separate layer using a Wacom tablet. It's a little strange trying to draw around the tripod, but let's do a design or a drawing here of Jesus the Coked Up Chicken, one of my characters. And I am looking at another Jesus specific book for sometime this year as well. I've had a lot of people ask about that. So as you can see, it's pretty fast and responsive. So it's not suffering from lag. And I can work out an idea like this, and then when I do finishing work, I tend to go much slower and use different brushes in Photoshop. So I would take this, I send it up to Creative Cloud, then I bring it back down from Creative Cloud on my other computer and do the finishing work on it. So there's a quick doodle of Jesus, but let's do one of Ethel the Cyborg Ninja next. So I'll close that, open up a new one, iPad Pro Landscape, which is what I do my Patreon doodles in. And same thing, I would typically start with something, just work out where the eye is going to be, where's her face looking. Okay, and that's the sketch. Let's put a layer on top of that over here. And you can do the same exact thing in Photoshop. This is Adobe Draw. You tap on that, and we're going to take the opacity and drop it down like that. And come in here, and I wouldn't normally do finishing work on this, but I could if I had to. But you can see this thing is pretty quick. So this might be like a secondary layer of inks. And she has robot eyes, so they're usually glowing in some fashion, since she's a cyborg. And I'm working out a new outfit for book 2, where she just has a new design for her spacesuit, and then on top of the spacesuit I can put belts and all that kind of stuff. And this particular drawing, she'll be drinking a beer because it's Friday. And what else would you do on a Friday in space but drink a beer and kill things with ninja swords? Now, some lucky patron is going to get this finished, but probably Derek Langley. I know that you always like the beer drinking pictures, so I'll put Jesus in here as well. And I might clean this up a little bit when I get to the final version, but she has cyborg legs. Maybe I'll put a sword in that hand. I'll figure it out later. This pen is pressure sensitive. Probably should have said it earlier, but I didn't. So you can do a thin line and push harder and do a thick line. So it's not a technique I typically worry about, but if you're interested in it, the pen is pressure sensitive. Clean up her shoulder a little bit there. I probably made it a little too broad. She's a pretty tall and skinny cyborg ninja. And she could have a belt here. So let's do a better job on that. Belt usually sits around there. Can't draw that angle around a tripod. The bottom of her sword case or the sword sheath might be there. The back of it, and then you can put all kinds of other ammo packs on her and stuff. I like that it's fast. That means I can do sketch work. It doesn't slow me down. It's actually got a great weight and feel to it. It's a nice device. A bit pricey for what it is, but keeps things moving like the Cosmic Death Brick. See you next time. Classic Game Room is brought to you by Ethel the Cyborg Ninja, now on Amazon and Classic Game Room Barware.